Hey, hello, and welcome. I am Debbie Peterson of Getting to Clarity. And today we are talking about busyness, and especially this time of year, right? Busyness is a trap and it's holding you back. So, in this video, I want to cover why and how it is and what it is that you can do about it. So, stay tuned. So, busyness. It can be a high in the short term, but actually it's working against you in the long term. So, busyness blurs the lines between work and home, and it throws out any boundaries that we may have, whether those boundaries are strong or whether those boundaries are weak. And it steals our joy because we focus on how much we have to do instead of what is really important to us. And especially when that internal competitive drive kicks into overdrive, then that's all we see. It's like we are just driven to get the most done every day. We're compelled to do it. But the thing is, if left unchecked, busyness will evaporate any sense of purpose that you may have about your work, about your life, because you can't allow yourself to focus on that. You can't allow yourself to focus on purpose or the joy because it just sucks the joy away. Busyness can leave you stressed out, burned out, and completely overwhelmed. And if you consider busyness like a badge of honor, you might be creating a busy life, but possibly a meager existence because there's no room for anything that means anything to you. So busyness is that perpetual state of existence with having a great deal to do. Now, there may be some days where you have more to do than other days, but what I'm talking about is this is your way of life. This is your way of existing. And what happens is that you become more of what it is that you need to do or what you're doing instead of more of who you are. Do you know what it means to you? The most important things in your life? Do you know what is most meaningful to you? Can you name it? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about outside of work, what means the most to you besides work? What is one or two things that mean the most to you, that are most important to you outside of work? I want you to think about it. I want you to name it. I want you to claim it. Then what I want you to do is take a peek at your calendar and your checkbook because they will tell the tale of, are you living up to it? So if you value something, then you put your time and your energy there. So take a peek at your checkbook and your calendar to see if that's actually what's happening. Now, I want to ask you some questions. Are you a person who needs to do everything by yourself? You've got to make sure that you've got your hands around the kids, the dinners, the events. You can't miss a game. You can't miss a dance recital. You just got to be at everything. Oh, and over and above that, you volunteer. So you sit maybe on boards or you volunteer for nonprofits because you think that's what you should do to be successful, and possibly more than that. Are there things that you do that you don't want to do? So are there things that you think that you need to do to be successful, that you should do to be successful? And if they're not aligned with you and you're doing them anyway, you might be a busy person. Are you the type of person who maps out each and every day with the precision of a wartime general? Yeah. If so, you might be labeling yourself a busy person. Are you a person who gets great satisfaction from getting a lot done, like it's a source of pride for you? Maybe you make lists, and then when you think of something else you need to do, you add it to the list so you can cross it off. If so, I see you because that has been me. You might be a busy person. And the problem is that when you label yourself as a busy person, then that is what you're going to show up like, because that is what you're telling your mind that you want to find. Now, all of these are great if they're every so often, but when this is every day and it's being tied into your identity because this is how you think of yourself, then that can be a problem. Because if you truly want to make strides in your leadership in your life, if you want to get ahead, if there are things that you want to achieve, it requires focused action. So you can't do everything. You've got to do the right things. And that would require you to have mapped out and thought about what it is that you need to do specifically to get the result that you want. So whether this is getting ahead at work, whether this is putting yourself and your health first, then you can't be doing everything. You've got to figure out if this is a priority for you, then you map it out and you've got to put it first, or at least further up the line. So instead of creating that list and adding things as you think about them so that you can cross them out, I know there's something just appealing about that. I don't know what it is. Think about what really needs to be on this list that's tied to whatever it is that you want to achieve. So again, what is most important to you as a person? Focus on that, making sure that when you look at the checkbook and the calendar, that there's some balance or harmony between work and whatever it is that's most important to you. And I've got some strategies, I've got some tips because, hey, that's what I do to help you keep the main thing, the main thing. So the first tip is schedule it. So the things that matter to you most, whether you want to make your child's basketball game or you're looking to get in daily walks or workouts, you schedule those first. Okay. You may have just gotten to the point where it's like you don't feel good. You feel like you put on weight, your clothes don't fit you well, you're out of breath, and you know you need to put yourself first, that you've got to get your health and fitness under control. Then schedule it. Put it on the calendar. Schedule that first, and then work the other things in around it. Okay. Tip number 2 is to protect it. So think long and hard about anything that bumps up against what it is that you've scheduled for yourself. And instead of saying yes to something else automatically that bumps it off the calendar, here's what I want you to do. Offer another option. So if someone wants to have an early morning meeting because it's convenient for them and 8:00 wouldn't let you get your workout in, then ask for 8:30. Say 8:00 won't work for me. Offer 8:30 or 8:45 if that works. If you can't get around it, and it's not something that you can say no to, or it's not somewhere where you have an ability to put together another option, then your responsibility is to reschedule what's getting bumped off the calendar. So if you've got a 7 a.m. walk and that's not happening, then where else in the day are you? Not maybe or where you might schedule it. Are you going to schedule it? Will you schedule it? Where will you schedule it? So it can't just get knocked off the calendar. It's got to be replaced somewhere on the same day. All right. The third tip that I have for you is to enjoy it. If you're doing this, if you said this is important to me, if you have named it and you have claimed it and you have scheduled it, then you did so for a reason. Otherwise, you wouldn't have labeled it so. So it's a waste of your energy for you to feel guilty about where you are and what it is that you're doing. Enjoy where you are. Enjoy what you're doing. You can always go back to the other stuff. So remember, you get to say what is important to you. You also get to make choices that move you in that direction or not. So don't let the distraction, the bright, shiny rabbit of busyness, fuel your leadership or your life, because it's a lot of hot air and that's not going to sustain you very long. Choose what matters because that's what you deserve. And if you would like to choose to find out what are the answers to your next steps, your next level, or even your next chapter in your career, well, go get the free 5-day Career Clarity Workbook so that you can start uncovering your own answers for you. You can go to www.5daycareerclarityworkbook.com and get your very own copy and start getting the answers to what's next for you. So until the next time, be well, and here is wishing you all the clarity that you deserve and good choices too. Take care and bye-bye for now.